Do you often get the feedback, be more specific here, or clarify what you mean? Or, what do you mean by this sentence? Many writers construct sentences that are too vague, which fail to identify specific subjects and actions. This lack leads to unclear arguments and unclear evidence. Consider these examples. The author does this for differing reasons. Does what? For what reasons? From what do they differ? And how? The characters all display various qualities that help the reader understand the meaning of the text. Which characters and what qualities and what meaning do you want the reader to understand? The author uses these characters for different purposes that all contribute to her overall meaning. Which characters? For what purposes? And what overall meaning? Look for these kinds of sentences in your essays. Take a moment now to read through your paper. Highlight or underline any vague statements such as the examples in the previous slide. Some red flag words. Different. Differing. Various. Varied. Multiple. Let's take one of these sentences and try to revise it. How do we make it more specific so that it actually tells us something meaningful and valuable? We need to identify the exact subjects we're discussing, accurately label their actions, and establish our own terms of the argument. Let's analyze the sentence step by step. The author uses these characters for different purposes that all contribute to her overall meaning. So many parts of this sentence could be specified. Uses. Uses how or why, to what extent, to what end. Label it. These characters. Who? Identify them. Name them. Several different purposes. What purposes? How many? How are they different? Name them and identify the differences. To her overall meaning. Of what? What is the meaning? Name it. Make each element more accurate, exact, and specific. Start out by trying to identify the specific elements of what you are demonstrating. Uses may become alines and contrasts to be more specific. Name the characters. Anne, Mrs. Smith, Sir Eliot. Name the purposes. For the purpose of drawing both a similarity between Anne and Mrs. Smith and also a contrast between Anne and her father. Tell her overall meaning. This is a big point. Let's hold off on this one for now. It might be too big or general for the purposes of this writer's essay. Now let's put it all together. Here's a revised version using the components we just added. In this scene, in which Anne reunites with Mrs. Smith, Austen draws a parallel between Anne's actions and Mrs. Smith's unselfish compassion, while sharply contrasting Anne's thoughts with Sir Eliot's opportunistic materialism. Here we begin to plug in our more specific information into each part of the original vague sentence. Now look at the sentences side by side. See how the original parts of the sentence have been replaced with specifically identified terms? The scene is identified, the characters are named, the actions are labeled, and the differing reasons are specified. What about the overall meaning suggested in the first sentence? How does the writer's analysis help us make sense of the text's overall meaning? Is there a general argument we can make from the writer's observations, or a smaller but still important point that can be drawn from the analysis? Or is this kind of statement meaningless fluff that we add to our sentences out of habit, as a gesture to point in the general direction of significance, but failing to locate it exactly? There's not one right answer. Think about this point and discuss it with your classmates. Notice if you make general statements without pointing your reader toward a specific location. This has been Composite's lesson on vague statements. Check out your Blackboard course page under Writing Help for more info, or look at our YouTube channel.